Let me start by saying I was actually pretty surprised to sit in this box yesterday and acknowledge that the Home Run Derby was actually watchable this year. And honestly, that was quite an admission on my part because it's never watchable. Not only was it watchable, it was borderline enjoyable, if not borderline erotic.
Borderline erotic.
I mean, it was that good. It was borderline erotic.
Borderline erotic.
Now, that said, just because I enjoyed the Derby for the first time in years does not mean that I was looking for a bonus Derby, a free home run Derby, or technically what they refer to as a swing off, which is exactly what we got last night and actually sounds more like some sort of kinky key party that you see behind one of those neighborhoods with gates and nice golf courses. You know, kinky keys in kinky fish bowls. You come to the swing off on Friday night, you know it, man. Been thinking about your wife for a long time. Now, that's not what they meant. I mean, that's what it sounded like, but it's not what they meant. They had the swing off as the end of a baseball game. The swing off sounds almost like some twisted version of the smack off.
The smack off.
Where instead of callers spitting smack at each other, it's people spitting game at each other's spouses. I mean, I digress, but how weird is that? Like, then you're going to play golf in a foursome with some dude that you swapped wives with. Yeah, I know it's a lifestyle. It's just not one that I've ever experienced. Anyway, freaks, you do you. That said, I can't believe that I'm about to do this again. But once again, the bonus derby, swinger derby, swing off was borderline enjoyable. Maybe even borderline erotic.
Borderline erotic.
Fans of Kyle Schwarber probably thought so because Schwarber's heroic Schwar bombs were ultimately the difference in this one last night.
NL has rallied in the swing off. With the hat trick! Look out, Chop House! National League takes the lead 4-3.
Unbelievable.
I mean, are they that geeked because it was that fun, or are they that geeked because they get to go home? Yes. Listen, it's slightly goofy, and it's slightly hokey, and it's kind of contrived as that was. It was actually pretty fun. It was actually pretty exciting. And it's still incredibly impressive to hit 3 home runs, even if it's off some old coach. Still pretty impressive to hit 3 home runs in 3 swings with the All-Star Game on the line. Like, I never thought that I would ever see this version of baseball penalty kicks. And I definitely never thought that a version of baseball penalty kicks could ever work. Just like I never thought that we would get an All-Star MVP who actually had no hits in the actual game. Yet somehow we got all of that. Somehow it all kind of did work. Somehow it was actually kind of fun. You see, this is why I'm so good at what I do. Because I can own it. I can have an open mind. I'm not here to hate. I can admit it. It was actually pretty fun. It didn't suck. It didn't even look like the players were having fun. At least the ones who had not already pieced out to whatever more important thing or place they had to be. You know, the players that actually stayed until the end of the game. The ones that were still there at the end of the game still seemed to actually enjoy it. Let me just say that, if they were there at the end of the game. Incredibly enough, though, that was not the only cool or interesting or enjoyable part of that game. Far from it. This is why I'm saying the entire experience was pretty good. Not just the end of the game. I also enjoyed the 9 innings of actual baseball. I even enjoyed the mic'd up player segment, which is normally so awkward and so annoying and so distracting and so forced and so completely unnecessary during real games. Like, nobody ever has anything interesting to say. Nobody wants to do it, yet they force it on everybody. The players, us, the audience. Except during the All-Star Game, it's actually a good time to have dudes mic'd up in real time with the broadcast, even dropping F-bombs after giving up hits in real time like Tarek Skubal did seemingly multiple times in the first inning.
And the National League wastes no time. Ohtani can jog in, and an extra base hit from Marte. Here comes Acuna. A two-run double, 2-0 NL.
You know what? I'll give this guy that. The thing that I like best about him, aside from he's utterly filthy, is that he cares enough to F-bomb for giving up a base knock. I'm just surprised there was nobody in that Fox truck hovering over the dump button, but I'm glad there wasn't. Now, by far, the best mic'd up moment or sequence was when Clayton Kershaw took the bump, which wound up completely justifying his somewhat bizarre inclusion in that game in the first place. Kershaw, of course, was chosen by Rob Manfred as his legend pick. And Clay's reaction at that time, I thought, was priceless. Even he called it, quote, weird, quote, uncomfortable, quote, a little embarrassing. And when he first found out the news from Dave Roberts, his response was, quote, what is this? A senior citizen's discount? End quote. Like, Kershaw gets it. He knows. Turns out, though, that was one of the best things of the entire night. It set up one of the best exchanges of the entire night. Check this out. This is the full at-bat between a mic'd-up Kershaw and Vlad Guerrero Jr. in the top of the second.
How hard was that one, 91?
It was an out.
It was an out. All right, going cheese again.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you and Paul Skeens are pretty much the same guy.
Right down the middle. I'm so glad he didn't swing. Okay, I'm going curveball here.
Okay.
Right down the middle. I'm so glad he didn't swing.
Short.
Double up.
What we're getting to,
now
we're
I
getting the
think I
real
gotta go
Clay.
slider.
I like
Let's
that.
think what Will thinks, but I think I got to go slider here. No, he wants curveball again. All right, fine.
I want to go slider here. Nope, he wants a curveball. Oh, okay, fine.
Okay.
Uncle Charlie.
What do you want? Smoltzy, what do you want?
Cutter in, slider in.
I don't throw a cutter,
He doesn't
Smoltzy.
slider in,
Slider.
cutter.
Son of a...
He's talking to John Smoltz mid-windup. Cussing.
How about this?
Cussing mid-windup.
All right, what's the count?
I don't have a cutter,
Is it so weird
Smoltz.
talking to you guys?
It's kind
Holy cow.
Sit down.
Hey, sit him down.
I think that might be it.
That's it. And
That was a great moment. I mean, not just watchable, but actually a great moment. Kersh is a legend, no matter what some of you want to say. I'm happy the legend got one last All-Star moment. It felt big. It felt almost borderline erotic. I just thought the exchange was great. Loved it, because normally those mic'd up segments are so worthless. Except maybe the most significant thing that happened last night was actually the introduction of the long-awaited ABS challenge system, using that same Hawkeye technology that we see in tennis. MLB has been using it in the minors, and they've used it in spring training, but this was obviously the biggest test on the biggest stage to date. And I would say that it passed with flying colors. Like, what are they waiting for? What are they worried about? Now, you be your own judge. But this was the first example from the first inning of that game. Tarek Skubal versus Manny Machado. Check it out.
Ball down.
Oh,
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it can come from it can't come from the dugout, but it can come from the booth. I think it's going to work.
Let's see, Kyle. How'd you do? I think it's a strike.
Big dumper, new.
Automated balls and strikes powered by T-Mobile.
Big dumper, new.
Hey, you take him any way you can get him, boys.
So, he's funny, man. So, Big Dumper actually called for that challenge. He nailed it. I mean, how great was that? Better yet, how simple was that? Maybe it could be a little bit quicker, but we see reviews in other sports that take longer than that. And it beats the hell out of just getting the call wrong, right? The whole point is get the call right, even if it takes a little bit longer. So bad news for you, Ump Show. If I were you, Right about now, I would be slow-mowing Carl Lewis so hard if I saw that. If I make my living in blue, I'd be like, oh. Why wouldn't MLB put this in place next season? Why would MLB not put this in place next week? And damn, it's going to be so great when the players can just immediately call out your ump show nonsense. And then the entire stadium will get to watch how wrong you are, measured with exact precision. It's a beautiful thing, really. Well, for us. Well, for everybody not named the ump show. But hey, you know what? You had what? Like 150 years to figure out how to get it right? I think that's more than enough time. I think now is the time for you to move over and let the robots handle the close ones. Now, granted, I want to be careful what I wish for, or the robots will move over and take over this. But in the meantime, take over that. The robots will take it from here, ump show. I mean, they're going to get everything eventually anyway. Just start with the ump show. Somehow, there was even more to like about last night than the ump show getting dragged by the new replay system. As an example, you know what else was cool? Players wearing their actual team uniforms. Seems like kind of a small thing, but it's really not. It might seem small, but it actually made the game seem bigger and better for casual or regional fans who might not watch every team and know every single player. And since they can't design any All-Star uniforms that aren't hideous abominations, of course, their own real uniforms are better. I mean, and there's still more. I'll tell you what else I liked. I liked the Hank Aaron tribute. I really enjoyed that Hank Aaron tribute before the 7th. I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite like this in a ballpark.
He's sitting on 7-14. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron. The fireworks are going. Henry Aaron is coming around third. His teammates are at home plate, and listen to this crowd.
That was actually really cool. I think even my guy Al Downing would have to say that was cool. Even those hippies that were rounding second with Hank had to think that was cool.
Pretty cool.
I can't really believe. First of all, I can't really believe those two hippies got on the infield for the biggest home run ever. I can't really believe I'm saying this, but well done, baseball. And not just with that tribute, although that was really cool. Well done with the entire night. Can't believe I'm saying that. Well done with the entire night. In fact, you know what? What the hell? Well done with both nights. Well done with the entire thing. For once. Look, I used to love this All-Star game. Everybody did. It used to be the best All-Star game. I would love for it to be the best All-Star game once again. I don't decide beforehand that I'm going to be bored to tears every single year and just show up and hate. Like, I don't decide, like a lot of you, that I'm going to be sheep or the mob or follow the crew and decide that I hate something before I see it. I'll decide that after I see it. I actually see something and then react to it. I don't go into it like I'm going to be bored to tears and I can't wait to get on the air and tear this thing apart. Now, granted, I was skeptical. But I'm watching this thing, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This is actually pretty cool. This is actually pretty fun. This is actually pretty entertaining. I actually am enjoying myself. I didn't just waste an entire night. I'm not thinking to myself, oh, I'm never going to get those 3.5 hours back. So, I can own that. And I can give credit where credit is due.
Credit.
Bobby Manford. Yo, Bob. You'll never hear me go all A-Rod and try to give you credit for single-handedly saving baseball, because that is such a ludicrous take. But this week, you guys actually, finally, sort of, kind of, got it right. I'll say it. The swing off was more smack off than hack off. Congrats, Ratford. And also, how the heck does Kyle Schwarber only have 30 bombs? 3 for 3 to get the win? I mean, was that Schwarbs or Baroid? Man, somebody tape measure that guy's head. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.